I'm going to go through a few different auto annotations. What I'm going to start with is my center line. That's coming from a reference, and all of our auto annotations are set up based on your feature definition. So you can see I selected this line. It's giving me over here my properties window. The feature definition is set to PR centerline 50 scale. So based on what your feature definition is, it's going to determine when you go on your drawing production tab, element annotation. That's going to determine what kind of annotation you get based on your feature definition. Hit the drop down and annotate element, and it's asking me down here, my lower left, locate element, and then once you have it located, we're set to complete. And you can see I got all my centerline annotations, stations, bearings, your PC, PT, your curve data, all placed in this DGN. Even though my geometries are actually referenced in, the text is active in the DGN where you run your element annotation. So that is for center lines. Another thing you can use your element annotation on is right away. So some of mine I already have my shapes set up, and you can see that they are geometries and they have this dynamic cells that you can click on and edit if you needed to. I'm going to show you how I created that shape and then how to annotate it. So how I normally start is I come into my drawing and I want to create a region. I do it my method by flood. I've already selected my element template that I want to use. I want to use my working right-of-way line. So I just want to flood. I have all my references on. Here's my existing, there's my proposed, and I just want to flood this area. So I'll data point in there, and now I have this shape. You can see it is different than this shape over here. It's missing these bearings and distances. So how you get that is you'll come over to your geometry tab, and under the design elements, create civil rule feature. That brings up this window, and again your feature definition is setting all of your auto annotations. So that's critical to get the correct annotation is to pick your correct feature definition. For my right-of-way, I'm going to select under alignment. There are working levels, PR working easement and PR working right-of-way line. So since this tract is for right-of-way, I'm going to select the right-of-way. And then it's just asking me to locate elements. So I'm going to locate that shape I just created and reset to complete. So now if I come in and select this shape, it looks different than it did before, and it has these fields with it. And then you can also see on your properties of it, it's on a level that's different than what our actual proposed right-of-way level is. It's on an ROR construction level. But the feature definition is working right-of-way line. The feature name, you could change that if you wanted to name it, parcel 1, track 1, or track A, whatever you want to name it. You could name that, type that in there. So we have our shape ready to annotate, and based on that definition, feature definition is how it's going to annotate. So we'll come up and use the same tool. element annotation, and you'll just come in and select the shape. So a few in here, and then reset to complete. And you can see this, it's populated our bearings and distances around the track. Because these two overlap, there's going to be, some cleanup work. But it already has this on your proposed right-of-way level. And there's your bearings and distances, which is all using our annotation scale. So if you had 20 scale sheets, that's what they would look like. One thing I would be careful of is if you had to come in and insert a vertex in your proposed right-of-way line, therefore in the shape as well, and you use this tool, just be careful that after you insert it that these bearing and distances still do match up. We have had it happen where they don't, but that may have been a bug that's now fixed. And then if you needed to come in and change these to existing text, you can select multiple, come in to your element template, find your existing features, existing right-of-way, plan, text, and here's your existing right-of-way calls, bearing and distance, element template, and you can see that changed the font, the level that it's on. To remove any of your annotations, these are just text, so you can come in and delete items. These, where they overlap, you would just have to delete it by hand. But if something's changed with your shape and you wanted to re-annotate the whole track, under your element annotation, there's also remove element annotations. So you can come in and select whatever element it was you annotated, whether it's your right-of-way track, your center line, reset to complete, and it's removed those annotations that were there before.